And welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. We got a 2006 Astra here, 1.4 petrol, and this is another garage car that came into me because there was a no-com with the ABS sensor or the ABS pump. So I've got all my equipment here. I got my breakout box, hoping to get some nice CAN bus signals. Got my new OBD plug 2 tester from Lens Tech, as you can see there. So started it up and went away to do a few things, and the car had stopped, so I tried to start it back up again. I remember this car drove to me here, and yeah, so no start, and it was starting. So all this equipment at the minute for what I was planning on doing with it is no good. Had to ring the garage and say, you know, the car you drove me here in perfect condition, it is now not starting. Obviously they understand that this sort of stuff can happen, so it's not a problem. If it's a customer's car, it can be a problem because they say, hold on a second, well, I drove it to you starting and now it's not starting. What have you done to it? It can get messy. Now I'm just going to do some very quick simple checks. I can't hear the fuel pump. I'm just going to do some very quick simple checks just to see what the story is. Cluster here and some trim, and I have noticed that the seat is a bit ajarred. Now the garage told me they've only just brought this car, so they haven't done anything with it. So let's just move this. You have some clocks. Is this connected? If it is, what's it connected to? Get this out of the way. Now what do I see? Well, look at that. Someone's been here before. I wonder if we can just get this off without anything. No, I'm gonna have to get something under there. Okay, it all looks kind of good in there. There's nothing surprising, no wires chopped or dinged around or anything like that, so all kind of looks good. Quick and dirty test. What I'm going to do is just hit this with a dead blow hammer and see what happens. Yes, what I could do is I could put my fuel pressure gauge on here because there is a Schrader valve. We could scope it as well, but this is just quick and dirty. I might do that if the hammer works, and just to show you how to do that. Still nothing. Checking the fuses and relays just to make sure they're all okay before I kind of went any further, and look what I found. Boom. Now people, seriously, do not do this, especially in an Opel. They like going on fire anyway. Just don't do this. Replace the fuse. Just replace the fuse properly. Right, what I have just checked is there's no power coming to this at all. I haven't got a wiring diagram out yet, but you can see there's a red wire there. It's the thickest out the lot, and there's no power going to it. So we are now chasing a power problem more so rather than a faulty fuel pump problem. And now we've seen that lovely little fuse they made, which is about 80 amps, well maybe 500, but hey, who's counting? We've got a wiring issue. So find the other fuse boxes and let's see if a fuse is blown and why the fuse is blown. That's the more important thing. Has the fuse blown because this is dodgy, or is it blown because someone's done some dodgy wiring and it's shorted out somewhere? That is gone. I haven't looked at a wiring diagram. I just went straight to the back of the fuse box and just checked them all. This was the 15 amp fuse that, oh, camera focus, that was gone. Now the interesting thing is it is completely different to all the other fuses. All the other fuses look factory, apart from this one. So this is the problem when you buy, well, this is a trading car, so you just don't know what's really happened to it at all. So let's go to the fuel pump and see if we've got power. Right, I got my multimeter hooked up. This is a really good thing with these Fluke ones, because I now need to turn the ignition on and depend on the pump, it might need to prime. Some pumps only turn on when they're actually cranking. It's very difficult to me to crank the engine and look at this multimeter when all I need to do is take this with me. We can set it up, apart from the glare, turn on the ignition. And there we go. We have voltage, which we didn't have before. But it's still not starting. And now the fuel light is on. I'm sure there was fuel in this car. Why is the fuel light on now? Is there no fuel in this car? Oh, the plot thickens. Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ring the garage, because I don't know how far they want me to go with this. It looks like there's no fuel in it now. I don't know if we've got a dodgy gauge. But the fuel gauge is moving a little bit, but it's just not moving. You know, it is moving a tiny bit off, so that would suggest the fuel gauge is working. I thought there was more fuel in it, maybe I'm wrong. So maybe it's just out of fuel now, but after seeing all them other dodgy wires across that 80 amp fuse, I'm going to tell them, because I don't really want to go any further. I want to get these properly fixed first, just so we don't cause ourselves a problem. And this is a good thing for you people out there, is because especially if you get a customer's vehicle, you want to get these problems sorted first. Because if it goes on fire or something happens because of that bodge, you're going to get blamed for it. So I want to sort out all that first. I'm not happy with the voltage going through it, but we're getting something. Maybe it's just low fuel. And why did that pump blow, or why did the fuse blow? We're going to check that once we get this properly done. A bit of petrol, put my battery booster pack on, turn the ignition on, see what happens. Still nothing. Now, let's see if it starts when the pump's actually connectedly on. So, you can see we're reading fuel now. The pump is now connected. Hey, it really does help when the pump is connected, people. And now we're reading over half a tank. Looks like we got a dodgy fuel gauge, or fuel level gauge. A new fuse in. It's actually a second-hand one. The garage brought it down. I've just hooked up my fuel pressure gauge just so we know, and it's just over 4 bar, which is fine. So that'll give you another good indication if you're checking it, what you need. I know the engine's ticking, but again, nothing to do with me, not my problem. I've just got to do what they want me to do. We've now got it started. We have to diagnose the second problem now. So there we go. I know if I don't scope it, I'm going to get people saying, well, I wonder if that's why the fuse is blown. As you can see, it is worn, but it's not shorting out, it's not bottoming out, anything like that. Yes, the fuel pump is worn, but it's most probably the genuine one. The car has done 200,000 kilometers, so yeah, I mean, most probably it is due a change, but again, it's not down to me. This is a garage car, but it's not really bad enough to blow fuses, so at least we kind of know that there now. Just a nice little capture for you. This is the fuse I took off. This is the piece of wire, but weirdly enough, the fuse is okay. That fuse hasn't blown, so why they've put a piece of wire there, I just don't know. Told you the garage about it. They're going to look into, you know, fuse problems or popping or anything like that. It could be just because someone's tried to jump start it. Again, they don't want me to waste my time with that, so I can't really give you an answer, unfortunately. But it just could be loads of reasons. They just want me to tell them why we've got no speedo and the ABS light is on. So what I'm going to do is this for this video. We've now got it started, and we're going to do the next video. So look, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below to my Facebook page, Patreon and all that. But most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted. Fuse is okay.